Hello everyone, welcome back to Rosey's Road to Perception. I've been sitting up thinking for a few weeks now what to talk about, and in my previous videos I talk about whatever comes up. I talked about the Black Lives Matter movement, the things that disturbed me there. I talked about going blind, after you're blind, how to try to live while you're blind. But now I think I need to do something else. Life in general. A lot of people don't understand, I believe, what life is all about right now as I come to see it. Because of so many things that's happening, we need to try to figure out what life is all about. So doing this video, I may talk about things that's in first person, second person, maybe even the third person sometime. But it's gonna be about life itself. It might be about my life, maybe about something that pertains to you. But anyway, to get started, first of all, I believe in God. I will say that, and I thank Him for waking me up this morning and getting me started. And that's the way I believe. Some don't believe that way, and that's what I'm talking about. That's life. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody believes in what they want to believe in, okay? And we're just going to keep on trying to get through life the best way we know how. And as far as I can remember when I was a kid, the only thing that I remember back then is playing with my sisters or something, or just playing by myself. Had no worries, didn't know what a lie was. They used to tell you about white lies and things like that. And as I grew older, then you start being taught about flat right out lying. And if we lied, we get the heck beat out of us. Now if you spank a kid, they talk about your child abuse. But that's here nor there. We're going to talk a little about that a little bit later on too. But as I grew older and I come out of high school and everything, I come to find out that I was easily influenced by others. That is not a good thing. You need to have your own mind. You need to have your own way of thinking. But you also need to have someone that is going to influence you in the right direction, not the wrong direction. And what I mean by that is trying to live right, not to lie, be honest with people, and you'll find yourself living a good life. But if you start lying and living in a bad way, then your life is going to be hell all the time, not some of the time. I grew up in a time of racism. I grew up in a time where black people couldn't vote, and how they fought, not literally, but how they fought to get the right to vote. Martin Luther King was out there, and some others. But Martin Luther King was the main one that was trying to get us the right to vote. And once we got that right, now people don't even want to vote. Black people don't even want to vote. I don't understand it. That's how you change things. And after I got older, like I said, I went into the military. I had to learn to socialize with Caucasian people, Hawaiians, Asians, and Spanish people. During my time when I was coming up as a kid, I'd never seen a Spanish person. Didn't even know that they spoke a different language. I only heard about it because I was born in a small town, a very small town, and we talked very country, and I had to learn how to speak all over again, because when I went into the military, some of my words that I was using, some of the people in the DI couldn't understand what I was saying because I was talking very slang during that time. Heck, don't laugh about that, because I tell you, right today, here in 2021, some of the kids that grew up in the small neighborhoods now, in the small towns in the country, they're talking like I talked back then. So it's nothing different, okay? It's nothing different, it's the same. It's just a different year, different time, but it's the same thing. And once I learned that in the military and how to get along with the Caucasian people, I learned how to live with them during that time. It became a little bit better. I started socializing with them, and I Come to find that all is not as bad as they seem. And all Caucasian people is not the same as black people. All black people are not the same. We're not ruthless. All of us is not drug addicts. All of us is not alcoholics. And all of us is not crazy and stupid, okay? And that's where people make the mistake. And they think that all black people are the same or they all look alike, you know? We can't tell the difference. Hell, we can say the same thing about other people, you know? But that's a lie. If you look at people's features very carefully, you can tell the difference. But you know what we have a habit of doing? Not actually paying attention. If you haven't noticed by now, I am blind. I always mention that in my videos. I'm not partially blind. I'm not half blind. I don't have 10% of vision, 1% of vision. I have no vision, but I still have my eyeballs. I pray to God that they don't come out. I pray to God that I don't have to take them out. I hope that I don't get the pain like some people have gotten and they had to come out. And I said that because we as blind people, it leads up into the same thing. We have a hard life too. It's like we have to start life all over again as I did when I was coming up in the 50s and the 60s. Still somewhat of the same thing. But unfortunately, it's not the same thing. And fortunately, it is the same thing. I don't know if I said that right, but I can tell you this, you know, we try to live to the best of our ability, and I will get to that as well. Part of life. But as I said, back in the 70s when I went into the military, I went in and it was during the Vietnam era, and I had to learn with a lot of things and I had to cope with a lot of things. You know, you always want to try to find a friend, and that's the hardest thing to find. I have a friend now that I've been knowing for over almost 50 years. I have another friend that I've been friends with over 25 years, and I just met a guy recently that's been my friend, and that's been just a few years, and I know we'll be friends for a long time because of the way we interact and the way we have opened up to one another, how the lies don't transpire and what we stand for. And what we talked about in the beginning about the things that will dissolve the friendship and what we know about each other by dissolving the friendship. We won't allow that to happen. So I know that we'll probably be friends until the day we die. But there are things that causes people to lose friendship. I started out with one friend years ago, back in the 70s. I thought he was my friend. That ended. And I've always had people to try to befriend me, and they did befriend me, and I take friendship very seriously, but yet and still it always end up to where I'm being taken advantage of. Like I said, I was easily influenced during that time. Okay, I don't know where I'm at right now in this video, but I do know that I'm going to start another video pretty soon, and I'm going to try to remember where I'm at with this last video, because out of sight, out of mind, and everything is out of sight to me, and you have to remember that. And as I always say, if you keep your heart and your mind right, you'll get there. This is Rosey. I'm gonna sign off, but I would like for you to know that if you like these videos that I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. If you like the content that I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up and let me know. And we'll try to continue with that. If there's something else you would like for me to talk about, comment and I can do that. I'm going to talk about blindness. I'm going to talk about life, like I said, in general, and how life is to some people and how life isn't to some people, how life is to me, and how I wish life could have been. All right, so I tell you, if you just wait and listen sometime and keep your mouth closed, you'll learn something. This is Rosey, and I'm moving on. See you later.